Hey guys, welcome back. And we are currently on chapter 8, Jace's Perspective, which is page 57, and this is Tone Deaf by Olivia Rivers. So, we are currently on the tour right now with Jace. Allie is going to get $8,000 at the end of this tour, and neither of them want to be there. She has never heard his music. She's felt the vibrations because she is deaf, and he just doesn't like socializing with people. So that's where we're at. We are on page 57, and we have 220 some pages left of this book. So I hope you stick around because the story is very good. Try to visualize it as best you can. I visualize very vividly. I feel like I have very good imagination, so I love reading. So I hope that even if you don't have a crazy imagination, that by listening you'll start to have one more and more. I like putting up my leg. And even if you don't, it's still fun to listen to read. So let's get right into this, page 57, Jace's Perspective, and I feel like it's going to be a pretty short one. Super short. So, but we're just going to have a super short one then. Next one's are going to put short. Okay, anyway, let's just get right into it. Jace. I tear off my damp t-shirt and throw it in the corner of my room. The heat outside combined with my anger, anxious nerves have left me covered in sweat and feel downright gross. I wish I could swap out painful memories that I have been crowding my mind for days, but now a fresh shirt is the best I can do. I search through my closet for a t-shirt, knowing I need to hurry up. I'm procrastinating bringing Allie her check, but I really don't want to go back out there and have to talk with her again. 27 minutes I spent with her on tour, 27 minutes too long. She spent every moment scowling at me, and I spent every moment knowing I deserved her anger, and probably worse. But apologizing for flipping her off would have inevitably led her demanding an explanation. And I'm not even sure I have one of those to give. At least not after getting to know her a little on the tour. Yesterday, her deafness seemed like a giant, painful reminder of the past I've worked so hard to escape. Today, her deafness had hardly even mattered. Her disgust for me was far more distracting. Guilt usually is an emotion I let myself feel, but it kept clawing at my mind every time she'd shoot me one of those angry, frustrated glances. I left her by the equipment trailer, promising I'd return in just a few minutes with her check. I've already written it out and have it waiting by the door, but I'm suddenly tempted to rewrite one for a higher amount. The money obviously means a lot to her. Every time I've mentioned it, she's got this desperate glint in her eye that made my guilt even stronger. A knock comes at my door right as I shrug into the long-sleeve shirt. It's way too hot to be wearing anything with sleeves. Between the heat and the cramped, dusty landscape, Los Angeles has got to be one of the most miserable cities ever. But the long-sleeve shirt is a comforting reminder of one of the few good things from my past. Growing up in Denver with its thick snow and chilly air. Come in, I call, and Jean pushes open the door to my room. He leans against the doorway and crosses his arms, his lips pursed in a tight scowl. After the lecture Tony gave us this morning, I don't think John is going to forgive me anytime soon for giving a fan the finger. Did you get the pictures, he asked. Yeah. I take my phone out of my pocket and toss it at him. I already forwarded them to Tony. He nods and starts flicking through the images on my screen. I wait for him to show approval, but his scowl just deepens. What happened to her face? Huh? Her face, it's swollen on the side. He walks over and tilts the phone so I can see the picture on the screen. It'd been taken right outside the sound room, and Allie and me are both wearing smiles that look painfully fake. Surprise jolts through me as I realize John's right. I haven't looked closely at Allie all evening. Her glares have kept me from meeting her eyes, but the swelling is obvious now that I examine the picture. I reach over and flick to the next image, and I wince as I see the swelling in that one too. I snatch the phone out of John's hand and scroll to the last photo in the series. The sweltering heat had left all of us sweating by the end of the tour, and some of Allie's makeup had worn off. Without the thick plaster of foundation on her cheek, I can see the greenish shadow of a fresh bruise. Shoot, John says, peering over my shoulder at the picture. Did she have that yesterday? I don't know, I admit. But it doesn't matter if the bruise was there yesterday because it shouldn't be there at all. I flip back up a few pictures until I find one that shows her arms. Cold nausea slams into my gut as I see what I was both expecting and dreading. A band of bruises curling around her forearm like a hand grabbed her there. The bruises on her arm are faint, but the fact that they're old just makes me feel worse. Whatever happened to her face wasn't a one-time deal. John gives his throat an uncomfortable clear. Do you think... Yeah, I say, not bothering to finish the sentence for him. I know we're both thinking the exact same thing. John comes from a decent family, but he spent plenty of time fetching ice packs for me and helping me wrap sprains. Shoot, John repeats. He sounds sad and concerned, but it's nothing compared to the emotions rolling inside me and lighting my nerves on fire. I don't need this right now. Heck, this is the last thing I need. June 5th is always a horrible day, but it's always supposed to last. But it's only supposed to last 24 hours. Then I can spend 364 days shoving away the memories from my past and pretending none of it mattered. Except it does matter, because now it's re-entered my life in the form of a girl who is clearly in trouble. I think of how carefully she was to keep space between us during the tour, and of the desperate look in her eyes when I mentioned the money. Could this be why? Do you want to sit down? John asked, his voice strained and uncertain. You look like you're about to pass out. I let out a shuddering breath I hadn't realized I had been holding. My heart thunders in my chest as I take a couple shaky steps toward the bed and sit on its edge. I have a sudden urge to grab the sheets and pull them over my head, to just hide from the situation like I used to hide from my nightmares when I was a kid. Not that it ever helped much back then. It was impossible to escape the bad dreams when I was living with a monster. John bites his lips. You stay here, okay? He hooks his thumb over his shoulder, gesturing toward the door of the RV. I'll go give the girl her money. No, I say. No? Jace, you promised to her. You can't back out. No. No, you're not going to give it to her. I stand up and stride toward the door, walking fast so John can't see how shaky my legs are. I am. John sidesteps in front of me, blocking the way out of the room. You're not going to ask her about her bruises, are you? If we're trying to keep this girl away from the media, stirring up drama isn't going to help things. Drama? I repeat, my voice a growl. Someone hurt that girl. That's not drama. That's a crime. John holds up his hands as if to ward off my glare. Okay, sorry. That was a bad word choice, but my point stands. There's no way you're going to help things by getting involved in this. I press my palm against my forehead, wishing I could just shove away the thoughts rattling around my mind. She's being hurt. She's in danger. She needs help. I have to try, I said to John. He heaves a frustrated sigh. Look, Jace, you don't even know for sure if she's being abused. Maybe just fell down the stairs, I say, my tone dripping with sarcasm, slipped on the wet floor, got accidentally hit with an opening door. I shake my head. I'm sure she'll have some sort of excuse, and I'm sure I'll recognize it, because it'll probably be one I've used before. John gives a frustrated sigh. Look, Jace, I know you're going through a rough time right now, and I get it. And yeah, those bruises are really suspicious, so I understand why you're worried about this girl, but her safety is absolutely not your concern. If you really think that, then you don't understand at all, I say, then I shove past him, stopping only to grab the check before I rush back to Allie. That is the end of Chapter 8 from Jace's perspective. So, John kind of has like a softer tone. Jace is going to have a softer tone later on. So, just don't get those confused. And that was the end. So, thanks for joining me. We left off on page 62, which means we'll be picking up on 63. So, goodbye for now. See you guys later. Bye.